Oh man, you heard what they were saying, didn't you? Oh, you heard what they were saying.
Oh yes, this is going to be a big surprise with WrestleMania this year, and a few complaints here and there.
I'll tell you what,
this is going to save WrestleMania.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys again, and you know, this is going to save WrestleMania for me. And even if the show is shit, the fact that this is going to happen, these guys are going to be there, it's going to be freaking awesome. Either way, I don't care if WrestleMania sucks. This is going to save it.
This is definitely going to bring a smile to our faces.
Indeed. Let's get down to this Raw rundown. I'm very, very happy to hear the news and what we've seen on the Elimination Chamber review and also what we've heard now. This is a Raw rundown from yesterday's show. We're the British Fist. Non-mirrored we're going to keep doing non-mirrored videos. I'm Mr. Parkin. You can actually see my t-shirt. For all those people that probably wondered what my t-shirt was saying, original crosshatch. You can finally see what it's saying. Now you can see NJ do the what's up in unmirrored. A little bit weird. It looks a little bit weird, doesn't it? Especially to me. We're moving the wrong way around. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to. This was a big Raw, wasn't it? You know, there a lot of stuff going on. Going into this Raw, we had speculation that Taker was going to return. Cena and Punk going to have a match to see who was going to face The Rock at WrestleMania. You know, we had the return of Triple H and Brock Lesnar. So we knew a lot of stuff was going to be going on here, and that this was going to be a big Raw in the build to WrestleMania.
Well, that's what they need to do. Get the interest going, get the eyes coming back, get the interest going to the match at the pay-per-view. So I think from this week or last week going onwards, there needs to be the big, bad things leading to WrestleMania.
Yeah, to me personally, this was the start of the road to WrestleMania. I think last week's Raw was. So if you have any thoughts or comments on the show, please let us know down in the comment section below. One little bit of news that we want to get off our chest before we go into this, which has really nothing to do with the rundown. The fact that Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame. You know, I think definitely better than Drew Carey. I can see why they put Trump in the Hall of Fame. He hosted 2 WrestleManias at the Trump Plaza. He was there for WrestleMania, I believe, 23 and the Billionaire vs. Billion match, and that was I think that was the biggest buy rate that WrestleMania ever got.
The thing is, I'm not really a fan of the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. I'm more interested in seeing the classical wrestlers, the wrestlers we grew up with, the wrestlers who've done their bodies on the line. The celebs who got involved, yeah, okay, not really my thing. Of all the celebs, it's one person that I'm going to totally 100% agree with you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, celebrities are definitely a massively important thing in the WWE, especially when it first came around. I mean, remember when we watched that History of WrestleMania DVD, MJ? The celebrities were the big part of what made WrestleMania go global. So I believe it's important to have at least one celebrity in there. Not every year, but every couple of years. So anyway, you leave us your thoughts on Donald Trump and your thoughts on the show. We're going to now get on to the in-ring action and booking section of this Raw rundown. So from my hasty calculation, it seemed like we had 7 matches on Raw. So let's get through this pretty quickly, as it's really the storylines that are a lot more important on these editions of Raw. The first match of the evening we had was Dolph Ziggler versus Ryback. Ryback wins pretty clean. Dolph is really losing a lot of momentum as the Money in the Bank holder, even though we had AJ and Biggie Langston interfering here.
I really don't see what this match really did, because Ziggler's not really got a match going on. And the thing is, you expect what was going to come from this, which was Ryback to pick up yet another win, leading to nothing.
It's funny that, you know, you've got Ryback, who hasn't won a pay-per-view match since Money in the Bank, which is July, and Dolph Ziggler, who is now continuing to lose momentum as the Money in the Bank holder, hasn't really got a feud right now, and you put these two together, and one of them is going to lose, and unfortunately, the person that's going to lose is Dolph Ziggler, and I think it's about time that Dolph Ziggler, you know, Dolph Ziggler can make anyone look good. He can bump around for anyone. It's about time he makes himself look good for a freaking change.
I really do think he needs a big, impressive win. Yes, it's a shame he didn't really get that over Cena, but I do think he needs some kind of big match that shows that all the losing streak's gone. He's now done something impressive.
Oh yeah, by the way, the one at TLC didn't count because he had AJ Lee helping him. Khali versus Henry. So last week, and well, we didn't see the match, but we saw Henry run from Khali, then he decimates him in a minute. So why was he running away from him last week? Henry wins pretty quickly here, as he should. Randy Orton versus Antonio Cesaro. Orton wins quickly with that top rope RKO.
Number 1, seen this match before. Number 2, with this match, okay, yes, you're making Cesaro against main eventers, but it's all about the feud we need.
Yeah, I mean, these are just filler matches, aren't they, really? We have no direction for Ryback, we have no direction for Ziggler, no direction for Henry, no direction for Cesaro, really. R-Truth versus Cody Rhodes is Sandow on commentary. Truth wins very quickly.
This I was quite interested in. Yes, they may be burn up as a second tag team, but this match, the main focus is that Cody Rhodes has named his moustache, okay.
The love stash. Oh, by the way, I want to just mention something quickly. I mentioned it in the SmackDown review I did on my channel. I've shaved off my mustache because I'm hoping that now I've shaved off my mustache or my love stash or whatever you want to call that might bring Cody Rhodes some good luck. I don't know. Maybe do you think that might help? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see what happens.
And the thing is, when Michael asked Sano if he's going to name his beard, he went, no. It's like showing how pathetic naming a mustache is, but there you go, Cody Rhodes.
We've all named our mustaches, MJ. I know what you'd love to name your mustache. You told me last week. You just love to call it the NJNator stash. You just love it, mate. I know you do. You told me last week. Don't lie.
The thing about this is that Team Rose scholars, I have no faith in. They're like stupidly, pathetically booked. And Cody Rhodes, we always see him as a future World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. Sandow, a guy who could quite easily become a great IC champion. No.
Not as pathetically booked, though, as the next tag team we're going to talk about. Prime time players versus Daniel Bryan and Kane. Daniel Bryan was blindfolded, and Kane had one hand tied behind his back. And the really funny thing about this is, I was not surprised that the Prime Time players lost, because that's all they've been doing lately.
That tag team, everyone's had flying hopes when they first came, but nothing's really came out from them. This match was more about Daniel Bryan and Kane. They still did a few teasers, but they also did the fact that they won the match. So I felt that this is a bit of a storyline thing, and the match was somewhat entertaining. Yes, it was.
Swagger versus Miz. You know, a couple of things about this match. Swagger gets another win over a guy who main evented WrestleMania 27. But where was Miz's taping for his arm? He's been having that for the last couple of weeks. Where's his injury? I don't know. I'm just questioning this.
He healed up pretty fast because he's.
Yeah, and they had to film an episode of Miz TV. Then the main event of the evening was Cena versus Punk. As we all know, Cena won clean, but we're going to save our thoughts on that one in the main talking point.
Because there's a few things I want to say about this match, about the quality of the match, but I'm going to save what happened in it when we get to the bigger point later.
And I have a feeling that when I get through with my opinion on the match, the YWC is going to hate me. So CM Punk had a promo segment hyping up the match later on with John Cena, and he said he thought he was God. Now, I can't help but feel the way that CM Punk was talking that there was some tease for him facing Taker in the future. I just got that feeling from this promo that he was calling himself the best in the world, God, immortal, bigger than Jesus, or whatever the fuck he was saying. He sounded like some band members that we will not talk about here. Just sounded a lot like he was going to be facing Taker down the line. He did.
This we've already given our opinions on The Undertaker. Maybe it'd be worth bringing it back up, especially after this Raw. But with CM Punk, now because of the match that's going to come up later, CM Punk needs more direction. So any hints or any promos that actually give us what we need to see is good.
The result of the main event, I believe, means Taker and Punk is set in stone, in my opinion. What are they doing with Kane and Daniel Bryan? You know, 1 minute they're splitting up, next minute they're friends. Are they doing anything with these? What?
I think because of all the story they've had being tag champs, they are going to be working great as a tag team, working as friends. But at the end of the day, something's going to hit them really hard. Like, Kane's not going to be able to take it, Bryan's not going to be able to take it, and you're going to see basically what they're heading towards. Will it happen at Mania? It all depends on the tag titles, but I'm quite interested in how they do this in the final limits.
You think logically that it would have happened by now, seeing as they've been going at it for like 6 months? I don't know, I'm just saying. The Swagger Del Rio feud this week was forwarded using Miz TV's segment. You had Swagger win his match against Miz. Del Rio wasn't in action. You know, I'll say this. I really thought this segment was very good. But with the mainstream attention they got from Glenn Beck's comments on WWE being stupid, wrestling people, I really thought that WWE were going to play off of that a little bit more, maybe try and humiliate Glenn Beck a little bit. But, you know, they didn't. That kind of surprised me. And I'm not really also surprised they didn't drop this storyline. I think the news is very apparent that Glenn Beck has kind of saved Jack Swagger here after what he did on the Tuesday night after the SmackDown taping last week.
I personally think this hasn't even saved him. I think Vince McMahon or someone's still going to punish Swagger, which we'll probably have to see towards Mania. This storyline, yes, it may be attracting people, but I really don't care. We, the people, no, weed the people. If people heard correctly, it's weed the people, and I just don't have much interest in this. I'm just looking forward to seeing how the WWE punish him, probably at Mania.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably got one of the biggest buzz of all the storylines going on right now, really. I mean, you look at the mainstream attention that it's got from Glenn Beck, of all people. So, you know, we'll see where this storyline goes. I watched SmackDown. They did very little with this storyline on SmackDown, it seems like everything's happening on Raw, so why watch SmackDown when you see most of the good stuff happening on Raw, like this Miz TV segment, which I thought was very good.
I complained about many times, something big needs to strike on SmackDown. Yes, we had Rock on it 1 week, but we need something big to happen on SmackDown. This storyline, yes, it's a big thing as people keep complimenting it, but obviously with most eyes tuning to Raw, it's not really going to be big on SmackDown.
You know, the Oscars were, was it Sunday night, I believe? Full Killer couldn't do his live stream because of the Oscars outdraw Full Killer somehow. I don't know. Sheamus Oscar snubs. Wow. You know, this was just wow. So you have Sheamus making fun of Wade Barrett because he's not really saying much in a movie. So basically, Sheamus and the WWE are shitting on the movie before it's out, and they wonder why these DVDs go. They wonder why these movies go straight to freaking DVD. You know, just.
The thing is, there's so much more to say about this. Number one, Sheamus trying to be entertaining and funny in this, okay, in a suit and all this stuff, make it feel special. He looks like he's teasing a feud with Wade Barrett, but later on we get to a segment where it might change it again. So maybe this match is going to happen on a SmackDown on a Raw and finish it there and then. But it's just a shame because Wade Barrett is still going from, oh, I'm going to be the IC champion, probably one of the best IC champions we've had since Cody and stuff. But it's not going anywhere, and I think, yes, you're going to a feud with Sheamus possibly, but I can't see that turning out very well for you, Barrett.
If they're going to do a Sheamus-Barrett feud, don't. Because we've seen this many, many, many times on free TV. And I just want to say something else. Something that really, really bugged me about this segment. You saw in the trailer that Wade Barrett was playing this, like, badass heel. Yeah, he didn't say anything, but he's playing in this movie. He's playing a badass heel. Because movies have got the art of storytelling sorted. And in a video on my channel later down the line, I'm going to talk about this because this pisses me the fuck off. Shows a massive problem, in my opinion, with heels in the WWE, that you have Wade Barrett in a movie playing a badass heel, and then in the WWE, you can hardly say that he's badass at all, and he hardly ever... When was the time where Barrett won? I mean, I might just on SmackDown or something, I don't know.
Compared to him and Ziggler, I think, to be honest, they're not really being booked in a way that they look like they're going to become top stars for the company. Barrett is someone I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to happen. If he goes into a feud with Sheamus, yes, it could be about Sheamus, but if Sheamus did the right thing, like Orton's done a few times, Cena never does, and put Barrett over, then it could work out.
And where's Bo Dallas? Just saying, where's Bo Dallas? They've been building this guy up since Royal Rumble, and we haven't seen him. I'm just saying. Then we had a segment with The Shield. You have The Shield talking. I can't really remember much of what they were saying.
Basically, they think they're dominant. They've done all this. We're unstoppable. You cannot take us down. We've taken everyone who's come across us. But then, the thing that threw me is that you see a tease of Sheamus and Barrett. Here, Sheamus comes out to them, and they look like they're teasing probably another 3-on-3 match, because then out comes Orton, and there's a third member of the base team hidden away.
Somewhere which we don't know. Apparently the Shield think they've sorted the John Cena problem. Last time I heard Shield, John Cena is in the main event of WrestleMania, so you haven't really done that much to help solve the Cena problem by pinning right back, I'm just saying. The whole thing, you had Orton RKOing Rollins, you know, it's a very familiar sight, isn't it? Randy Orton RKOing a young guy.
That is the way I see it. The teaser like a 3-on-3, but that does question, is that Sheamus Barrett feud going to happen at Mania, or is that now going to be a Raw and SmackDown feud? This 3-on-3 match, who's the third person on the face team if it does go down that route? There's questions to be asked, but I enjoyed the Shield having their own promo time. Each one got to speak. Nicely set up.
So I think it's very well documented that the main two talking points here are very obvious, really. The first talking point we're going to talk about is what opened the show. You had the whole Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman fight opening the show. What did you think of this fight? I mean, Vince McMahon fighting after hip surgery, it's like, dodgy.
Well, I looked at this, and the way they did it is you got Heyman trying to outcome Vince, then obviously Vince coming the upper hand, and then out comes Lesnar. I thought this way, I wasn't expecting much from this, I really weren't. I thought backup plan for Vince, backup plan for Heyman, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, but even so, you had the whole brawl, you had Triple H coming out to quite a big pop, bigger than Lesnar, which I might say, with a new shirt, which no doubt you will probably buy. So this, in my opinion, was a good way to... I mean, they wanted to start this show off strong because they already knew they had a good main event, which we'll talk about later on in this section. But this segment between Triple H and Brock Lesnar, they brawled on the outside for a little bit. We even saw a little bit of blood, which, even though the cameramen were trying to cover it a little bit, seeing blood is a good thing. I mean, I know we don't see it very often and it's PG, but blood just makes this feel like more of a bigger deal. I mean, when you see it.
I think when it comes to Brock Lesnar, who busted up Cena at Extreme Rules, going against Triple H in a revenge match, I do think that the blood is definitely going to be good storytelling and aspect to this match at Mania. So to see it, I think the WWE should just be like, right, we expect it from Lesnar, we want to see it from Triple H, let's make this happen and allow it to happen at Mania.
And if they're going to do Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, I'm fine with it as long as they do something a bit different with it and not just be a street fight. Let's do something a little bit different, change the storyline a little bit, change the match stipulation, have something that's a little bit different. Now let's talk about the main event. John Cena versus CM Punk. You know, I'll say this. You know, I didn't watch this match. And you want to know why I didn't watch this match? Because I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on pay-per-view many, many times now. I saw people praising it, saying that it was pay-per-view worthy, which raises another question. You know, why would they do this on free TV? I mean, imagine if these two guys had barely touched, John Cena and CM Punk. They have great in-ring chemistry together. This could have been a really, really good WrestleMania main event. But the problem is now, it's been played out so many times that I just have no interest in seeing it anymore, no matter how good the match is, because I know they're going to have good matches. It's like Styles and Daniels. I know they're going to have good matches, but I've seen it all too much now, and it's just, I've got to take a stand against this shit.
So I did watch this match, just the aspect of the fact that these two do put on good performances. The only thing that threw me a little bit was the amount of times they kicked out submission moves, they kicked out finishers. It happened again and again and again. Yes, we all knew that Cena was going to pick up the win because that's the big drawing match in Vince's eyes. But I was watching this match and thinking, okay, this is a pretty good match. Yes, there's a few things I could bash about it, but I think for a main event and the fact that it made them both look good, was good, but it's just a finish, gave us exactly what we predicted.
Yeah, so Cena gets the win. I mean, we must have known. You guys out there must have known that John Cena was going to win this one. I mean, the way I look at it, it's, you know, why was John Cena so happy after the match? I mean, he already had a shot, but his stupid ass decided to put it on the line last week. Again, why?
And finally, we have Cena beating CM Punk, which CM Punk cannot use up against him now. So expect CM Punk to make a promo next week, giving him a new storyline. Cena and The Rock are going to do exactly what they did last year, insult each other, blah, blah, blah. The exact same rubbish we got last year, and now we're going to see the exact same match this year with no stipulation, nothing. It's just a repeated match.
And we have this whole greatness versus redemption storyline. And you know what? In my opinion, with John Cena, this has to be one of the most terrible redemption storylines ever. I mean, I'm not going to bash John Cena here. I'm just going to bash WWE. I mean, they have a main event, many pay-per-views. They had him beat Brock Lesnar, main event WrestleMania. You know, they had him in the WWE title scene for a lot, and yet we're supposed to believe this is a redemption storyline. You know, I don't know. Just if they class it like that, then I'm sorry, but you know, I'll say this though: what match would you want to see at WrestleMania if it wasn't Cena versus Rock? I just want to point something out here.
In this aspect, I was quite happy with the triple threat for many reasons. The triple threat I was going to be too much glory and expecting, wanting it to happen. You
know, a lot of people out there was saying, "Well, Punk versus Rock." I want to see Punk versus, yeah, which you've already seen twice. You know, I'm just saying, stop being such hypocrites. If John Cena, at least John Cena versus Rock has happened twice, and both times they've been at WrestleMania, and we won't see it for a third time.
Let's label it for once in a lifetime, and then make it second in a lifetime. Well done, WWE. And
with the WWE title on the line. I'm just trying to defend it.
The thing about this is that, number one, this is basically the WWE giving Cena what he wants. We're going to give you a big win over The Rock. We're going to give you the WWE Championship again for the 14th, which is getting too close to Ric Flair. I really think that this is horrible. Yes, it was predictable Cena to win a match, but I'm disappointed here.
I've got to say this though, in defense of WWE, we've seen Rock versus Cena before, but we've never seen it for the championship. And when will we ever see The Rock versus John Cena for the WWE Championship? I mean, it's probably not going to draw as many buy rates as it did last year, because last year the whole anticipation was this is the first time they were going to face off. But I'll say this: WWE will have to do something different. I mean, I'm not saying this match is going to be great or anything. I'm just saying that in order for WWE to get the most out of it, which is what they're probably going to want to do, which is why they got these two in the main events, you know, they're going to have to try and do something different with it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do you have anything else you want to say about this before we move on to the end?
In the aspect of this Raw, the last thing I want to say is that the match I'm personally looking forward to at the WrestleMania matches is Triple H and Brock Lesnar.
Alright, well, put your thoughts and comments on this Raw in the comments section below, and that has been it from us, the British Fist. We thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.